This has been an obsession of the media and the Democrats to get your dad before he was even elected.
100%. I mean, I think the Washington Post did the original one, the case for impeachment. It was about 20 minutes before the inauguration. He hadn't even been in there. And that's the reality, Sean. I mean, the way I like to liken Donald Trump's sort of rise in politics, it's actually very similar to what we've seen in the news in the last 2 weeks, which is what went on in GameStop, right? You have GameStop, you have Robinhood, you have something designed to help the little guy. You could buy a fraction of a share. Oh, wait. They're taking on the institutions. They're taking on the establishment. Oh, wait. So you're allowed to play, Sean, until you actually start winning.
That's right.
You know, if you're the schmuck and you're putting in the ante and you're losing your money every time, they love you to keep playing the game. OK, they wanted Donald Trump to do that. Right. Donald Trump had the big balance sheet, but he would never be considered part of the elite because they don't want that. They want the money. They don't want anything else to do with it. And it's just like what we saw play out there. The second the little guy starts actually winning, that's when you change the rules.
100%.
That's when you get a different playbook thrown at you. That's when all the knives came out. So Donald Trump was wonderful early on. Let's give him all sorts of free press because he's the guy we can beat. There's no way. Once he gets in, it's not a referendum on their incompetence over decades. It has nothing to do with that. It's just somehow about Donald Trump. All the knives have to come out. We must prevent him from ever doing this again. And more importantly, we got to do these kind of sham impeachments now when he's not even in office anymore to scare others who have been successful in life from ever entering this field. We want the mediocre losers that have been running the government into the ground for decades. We want them to be there because we can control them, we can control the money, and it's a big, happy family in Washington, D.C. The only problem is that's done nothing for the American people for the last few decades. That's why they went after Donald Trump so hard, and it's why they continue to go after Donald Trump, because they want to make sure there's never another Donald Trump.
Yeah. You know, we have seen several GOP senators support, side with the Democrats yesterday. Do you feel like you are getting enough support, your father's getting enough support from the GOP backing him against this impeachment right now?
Well, listen, I think you see that from the weaklings, you know, the rhinos. I mean, basically, all of the people that gave you Donald Trump are the people that in the GOP that want to take out Donald Trump. I mean, all of the people that let down, you know, their constituents, whether it's, you know, Romney with his failed elections just because he was too afraid to take on the press rather than continue to fight. And I know, again, we have to make very clear in 2021 that I don't mean that in the sort of sense of a campaign fight. I mean it in the sense of a campaign fight, not a physical fight. But had Romney chosen to actually engage, he could have won that election. But he didn't, because he would rather be loved by the media or was too afraid of the media to roll over and die. And that's exactly what they wanted. He was too weak. He had his chance. Okay? The people of Utah aren't thrilled with him doing that. He's not representing the people. He's upset that Donald Trump did what Mitt Romney never could. You know, Ben Sasse, give me a break. Rhino, you saw this in the last election cycle with a bunch of senators that they didn't even run again. Okay, but they're made heroes in the media, but they couldn't get elected dog catcher in their hometown. It's like Liz Cheney, right? Liz Cheney, well, we got to protect Liz. Why? What'd she do? She's got a 10% approval rate in Wyoming, right? She represents everything that the GOP and the GOP voters that Donald Trump brought into the party, unprecedented new numbers, everything that they hate. Endless wars, establishment nonsense. You know, she's like the party of the old GOP. That's not the party that Donald Trump created. Those aren't the people that showed up for him in record numbers. That's exactly what they've been fighting against. And yet, you know, the establishment will protect them because they have no idea what the people actually want. And I say this, I said it last night on Hannity. I mean, I understand the irony. I'm the son of a billionaire from Manhattan, and I have a better understanding of what the people in, like, middle America want from their representatives than the freaking representatives that are there supposedly representing them in Congress. I mean, think of how insane that is. And yet it's true. And we'll keep making the same mistakes over and over again if you have those people in office and you elect them into positions of leadership and otherwise. We have to learn from our mistakes of the past. We have to accept what is reality. We should be embracing so many of the new minority voters that came into the Republican Party to vote for Donald Trump, and most importantly, embracing the blue-collar working-class Americans that Donald Trump fought so hard for. Not doing exactly the opposite, not rolling over and letting the Democrats push through their radical leftist agenda. You've seen what they've gone on. I wrote a book about it. Liberal privilege. Turns out all of the things that I said they were going to do, no, he's not that radical. Oh, now he is. Oh. That's great. The union should have figured that out a little bit earlier, but that's not what they do because they've been on the dole, like the rest of D.C., for generations.
Hey, Don, you brought this up. I was asked on an Instagram Q&A today about what the Trump children might do politically. You are probably hands down, and I say probably to be nice to Ivanka and Eric, but you are probably hands down the top surrogate, the top choice and desire of every Republican group and candidate to come in. You're right about having a pulse on these people. I've seen you at rallies. People mob you. What does Donald Trump Jr. want to do going into the next couple election cycles?
Honestly, I want to help put people in positions of power that will actually represent their people, that will do what they say they're going to do in their stump speeches, that will go out there and fight for the American working class, that will fight against China and their attempts to take over the world, that aren't just going to listen to the woke globalists. Like, I want pragmatic, common sense people out there. And, honestly, I guess because there's so few people in the Republican Party really willing to engage, that way, I guess it created a window for me. So I'm going to stay very vocal, and I'm going to be out there, and I'm going to make sure that we try to do whatever we can to help the guys that are awesome and get rid of the guys that suck.
Will we see a Donald Trump Jr. on a ballot?
Yeah, well, we'll see. I haven't gotten that far yet. Honestly, I think I can do a lot more, not necessarily running. So I have no intention of running right now. I want to make sure that we get this party and fix it to the way that Donald Trump saw it, because that's what's going to be best for America, for our families, for our children, and for the working class people that we want to represent. Not the elite, the working class. Okay.
Donald Trump Jr., I know we can see your name on that book, Liberal Privilege. It's a fantastic read. Thank you for being with us and sharing with us your thoughts on this sham impeachment process that's going down. Look forward to seeing you soon.
See you later, guys. Thank you.